Hearthstone Grandmasters for the Americas, week number 2. Day number 2 is about to conclude with our last series of the day, featuring bloodyface with an opportunity to take down PNC, who he's beat once before, but lost earlier today. So, in a way, this is sort of like the third series that they get to play for the weekend and have a decisive finale to it. Whoever wins gets to play in top 4.
Yeah, whoever wins gets to play in top 4 and also guarantee themselves 1 extra point in Swiss, which PNC kind of needs because he finished in 16th in week 1. So not a great showing and kind of needs some points to get closer to Division A.
Yeah, that is rough. PNC with 1 point before, and if he can get more than 3 points here, puts himself to be a candidate to break into the top 8 and ultimately go into the upper division. But for now, he is struggling for that first week. But for week 2, he looked pretty good. Obviously he kind of snuck in there through the bottom half of the top 8 for standings, but still he looked really good at the beginning of the day, was even looking good at the very end of that series he played previously, but somehow the wheels just started falling off. And perhaps we're reading a little bit too much into it, perhaps it's just like a silly error, but it had grave consequences. That should have been a series, I think, won by PNC. Mm-hmm. Arguable whether or not that game could have still been his to win, but he shouldn't have lost it in that spot. And Eddie looked like he was in a point where he might be struggling for the rest of the game. But now history has kind of been rewritten, and for now we're going to see whether or not bloodyface can, twist the dagger, so to speak, kind of crush PNC's spirits. Because I think if he loses that way he does, and he's not able to go through the top 4, I wouldn't blame PNC for being shaken up a little bit about it.
Yeah, especially after the 3-0 early in the day, to turn around and lose the next one would be quite rough. But nothing's really changed as far as now in the first series. Both players banned Demon Hunter. Maybe we'll see different cues in the first matchup, but I kind of doubt it. I don't know. Maybe PNC can switch it up. But bloodyface probably going to play Priest in game 1. And if PNC does the same thing, he's just going to cue in that Hunter and take his victory and move on to the next game. So that seems to be how it is. The Priest has just kept on losing, even though it seemed like bloodyface was close to beating the mage in the last series. The 17 damage from hand had something else to say about it from Nalgidon. So let's get into Rogue. Wow, he did switch it up.
Did switch it up a little bit. So it is Rogue to start things off. And bloodyface once again turning to the Priest. This is a story that's been told before. But once more, TJ, let's see if bloodyface can do this. If he does win this, I believe this will be the first time his Priest has won today.
It would be. He's 0-2. He starts with a 1-drop. He's good. He's got tempo
having
advantage.
a 1-drop is promising against Rogue, but Rogue might be looking for something else. They might be looking for, a big Van Cleef turn that could be coming.
Oh! Now he's got a 2!
Okay. Piece by piece, brick by brick, we build this house. And once the house is built, TJ, we must protect it.
He's getting him, Dan. He's on a path.
He got him for 1.
Didn't pick up a 3.
Is there even a 3 in this deck?
I don't know.
I don't think so. No.
A Moarg Artificer. He could have picked up another Disciple of Galakron.
Yeah.
Could have renewed and picked the Sethic.
Fair enough. But then he would activate Dirty Tricks.
Yeah, but did. He would have had a curve.
Yeah, but then he would have played into the dirty tricks.
And he would have to renew and then pick up another thing. Renew wouldn't have given him a minion. He wouldn't have enough mana to play Renew something else in a minion.
Nah. Bloodyface's play is too clean to be suckered in by dirty tactics. Alright, okay. This is... Well, I don't think you actually... Now that you're going to turn 5, there's multiple ways for your opponent to kind of mess with your Van Cleef.
Yeah.
That being said...
He will get some cards out of the deal, though.
Yeah, it still feels like a good opportunity to go for it because your Van Cleef has to come down sometime. You're not going to just wait until the end of the game to play Van Cleef. So yeah, this is a light commitment. He could have obviously went way all in on it with the Ethereal Lackey and Shadow Step. But I think this is good. Force your opponent to prove that they have Time Rip. And rip it does. Tear him apart!
Oh!
Get ripped.
Man, the Mind Flayer Charge.
Mind Flayer Charge. That's the target an enemy minion, and then Death Rattle summon a copy of it, right?
Yes.
So Mind Flayer is kind of an unusual card. It's a little bit weird, but I've seen some situational uses for it, particularly against like Death Rattle minions. I remember I got this card off of the Priest and I just copied my opponent's egg, which was fun.
Yeah, can have some interesting uses. Against Rogue, though, not too much.
Yeah.
There's not really anything that you're going to gain huge amounts of value by targeting it, or by getting one of your own. And this is not the strongest that plays onto the board for PNC. So Bloodyface has a significant amount of time. That's one thing that's on his side, is time. Oh. So Shadow Stepping a Lackey, because that means that he can play High Spur and Togwaggle on curve. Pretty telegraphed play from PNC, which means Bloodyface just wants to make his strongest play and might as well get the man out of the way for Kronks, get Galakrond in his hand. And now we got ourselves a game.
Yeah. It is arguable that Priest could be able to contend with Rogue if they're able to amass enough resources to go toe-to-toe for the inevitable massive tempo swings. Rogue has to play a lot more straightforward or straight up now. They can't just like Leroy and burst you out of the game anymore. So instead what they end up doing is just building up like massive boards and then using Kronks to go in for the kill.
Yeah.
This seems really doable for Bloodyface. We might be able to see history being made, and Bloodyface can get a win with his Priest during the Swiss rounds. Of course, I'm just being facetious. He obviously has gotten wins with it to get to this point, but man, the Priest has been struggling today.
Yeah, it just feels too honest, you know?
Yeah.
Priest is
like,
trying to do
you
fair
play a big
things
minion
in an unfair world.
Right. It's like you play a big minion. Let me spend 5 mana to remove it. And other people are like, well, you know, here's like 7 minions for like 4 mana and I gain 30 armor.
Yeah.
Your
Ooh,
turn.
wow, this is quite a large board. Let me spend 9 mana my entire turn just removing it. And then Mage is like, well, I'm going to spend 10 mana, remove your board, and build my own and draw 6 cards. And pulls a Box of Yoxeron. So Priest is just too fair. But sometimes that wins.
Yeah, I mean,
Sometimes
Priest
just good old-fashioned
also-
honest Hearthstone wins you the game.
Priest also has a lot of jank with the Galakrond hero power, though.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. It's not Galakrond Priest. It's jank Priest.
Yeah.
But for now, looks like bloodyface will be able to respond to the board in a pretty meaningful way. This is not really big development for PNC, and he hasn't played his treasure. And now the hardest turns have been passed. Once Priest hits 9 mana, it feels like you have the ability to really respond to anything your opponent does with Plague of Death. Ooh,
nice. The only other one that I could see like being maybe better than that would have been the Reliquary. Because it gets reborn, so you get 2 more Reliquaries shuffled into the deck.
Right.
And you might as well play the Mind Flayer because you got 3 mana to spare and just kind of want to get ahead of things.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that it's pretty interesting that Mind Flayer's a legendary minion, because I feel like I could also see it being justified as just like an epic minion. But I'm sure there's some broken combos that potentially could be created as, especially if we start releasing more sets and whatnot.
Well, I mean, it's very good. Like, if you consider coming down on curve, on average, it's a 3/3 with a 3-mana 3/3 with Death Rattle summon a 3/3. That has huge upside when played later on in the game.
I mean, it has to choose an enemy minion though, right? You can't choose a friendly minion. So
yeah, but
if you just play, if your opponent's not doing anything, it's not doing anything.
Yeah, that's true. Huh.
Okay, Blackjack Stunner. Returning Kronks back to the hand. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Well, with the combination of Boom Pistol Bully.
It's 13 mana!
Yeah, we're going to need a lot of coins.
Yeah, however, I don't know about that one. Let me think for a second. No, I don't think so. I don't think I like it.
How else would you deal with the Kronks? Would you just kind of let your opponent have that Kronks? I can buy it.
Yeah, I would just develop behind it. I don't know. Maybe it's good. It's just like now you have to worry about Kronks every time you want to build a board after Galakron is played.
That's true. I mean, Galakron for 0 mana is insane. So, because Galakron draws free cards, so you get free cards that draw free cards to play for free, and then you have your normal cards you can play afterwards.
Yeah,
so like
he only needs 1 more Invoke as well.
Right. Looks like bloodyface is just gonna let him draw. Wait, PNC's gonna overdraw. Overdraws the backstab. Nothing super impactful. In fact, I think that was one of the best situations for PNC.
Well, if you look at PNC's hand, he doesn't have really many cards he can dump.
Okay, backstab kills Moag Artificer.
It does kill Moag Artificer, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in his hand also just add another card back to the hand. And Galakron draws 4 cards.
Well, once he gets it
that's
fully
a card.
invoked.
It is fully invoked.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, he's dumping cards.
Yeah.
I was like, you can just backstab and keep the Eviscerate in hand, and then just play like Kobold Lackey.
Mm-hmm.
But he needs to free up his hand space, so just using the Eviscerate. And bloodyface could use this opportunity to set up Galakron for the Kronks to respond to things. I believe his Galakron is at
2. It's 1 invoke away from being fully invoked,
but it's okay because it doesn't really like. It's still gonna just clear the board, right? That's just what it basically does.
Yeah, it doesn't matter right here, right now. Oh, healing up, activated Seal Fate.
I I feel like bloodyface is like on the fatigue plan. I think he's just gonna try to
yeah, for sure.
PNC out of resources. Here we go. 4 cards for free.
He's probably going to need these ethereal lackeys to pick up some schemes.
Well, he gets more lackeys. If he wants lackeys,
yeah, he can,
and reborn minions, he got a lot of them.
He can try and set up for his Crocs, like +2/+2 by just flooding the board here. But then he gives Bloodyface a nice Crocs. And if he extends too far, then he also plays into Plague of Death. Yeah, here, have an 8/8.
Well, Bloodyface can handle this, and with the Plague of Death.
Well, probably Soul Mirror, right? Because Soul Mirror
Soul Mirror is great. Yeah.
He could also fit in like Renew plus a hero power, or can end the turn with like a Disciple of Galakron, get 2 minions in hand.
Oh yeah. Psyche, Split, Holy Smite, and Circle of Healing. I'm inclined to pick Holy Smite just because it's efficient.
Yeah. I think you're right. At this point, he's on just the kill everything plan. He's got a lot of everything. Now, Crocs is gone. Iceberg Tagwaggle's gone. So there can't be any like crazy things happening like we saw earlier with like the Viper series where he just kept chaining together 0-mana Croxes for OTK. So really, like, PNC is kind of running out of stuff. He needs to find something fancy. He needs to shuffle something back into his deck.
Yeah, this is like, I hope I get Wax Dread.
Yeah.
Territory here.
Or Infinite Dragon Queen Alexstrasza's from...
Yeah, or Ethereal Lackey discovering Togwaggle Scheme. I think it's like getting to that territory.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised PNC is also taking it so slow. Like, he's had an opportunity to extend a lot more on this board. But it's not like he has many better options either, quite candidly. He's kind of been struggling here to piece together an actual game plan versus Priest, which has been very dominant.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, Kronks can just take all this board out, and then he can use Holy Smite.
Now PNC has a lot of lackeys, and that's it. He's got a lot of lackeys. Oh, and a bamboozle. Oh, and a flick.
This just reminds me of the previous game we watched with Nalgadon just like having lackeys in Rogue and just like nothing else.
Yeah. Well, lackeys can provide a lot of value. It's just you have to get the right combination of things. Most of the time, you're just rushing 2/1s into big stuff or taunting up your 1/1 and making it a 1/3. Oh, okay. Well, that's a start, Draconic Lackey. He just needs big stuff to be able to play. Ugh. None of those fit the description of things that we're looking for PNC to be able to win this game.
Darkness wanes.
Yeah, I can't really find anything better than this Face of Fellwing. I think PNC gonna try to extend onto the board and play stuff. I still would like to explore the possibility of the Togwaggle Scheme. I think PNC, he's having difficulty finding a win condition, and I think that those kinds of spells really do help you find it.
Yeah. Come on, Sticky Fingers. You're late.
Yeah. Cobalt Sticky Finger not really impactful here. And well, bloodyface. Oh. What does that mean? Khadgar summons multiple copies of a minion whenever you summon something, but I don't think he has anything else that really summons stuff.
Yeah, he seems to be mad at himself for something. I don't know if he wanted to go for Breath of the Infinite.
Yeah, I think he wanted a Breath of the Infinite, which means he
Wait, there's a cat!
There's a cat?
Time is running out.
Yeah, look.
There's a cat. Oh! I see the cat.
I think.
I'm not going to say where, just give it a nice little Easter egg. Okay, so bloodyface may have given PNC a small window here because he didn't remove it. I think he really, like you said, he really wanted to remove the board. But he didn't have a dragon, so Breath of the Infinite would hit his own minions.
I don't know if it's like a crucial turn to remove the board.
Oh, it's not, but when it's 7 power, and it felt like it just feels like it gives PNC a slight opportunity. He's been holding a ton of cards, a lot of lackeys, and it's like, what if he just has like all these Cobalt lackeys?
Double time and double pay.
Well, he has Shadow Jeweler Hanar plus a secret to kind of get things rolling. That could be an avenue for victory for PNC as well. I mean, if he just chains a bunch of secrets together and shuts off removal from PNC with like Counterspell, I don't know, maybe there's something there. Because PNC still got a lot of turns left of I'll die from fatigue next turn.
Just for reference, if by the time PNC or by the time bloodyface would draw his last Archivist Elysiana card, PNC would be taking his 21st damage of fatigue, or 21st. His fatigue would be at 21.
Mm-hmm.
Just to go to show you how long he can go relative to PNC.
Yeah.
This is grueling for PNC to try to overcome. And again, can he find a win condition at this point? And I think that's like a really important skill with this rogue deck, which is spotting a win condition when things don't go your way. And I think that's probably the hard part right now about playing it.
I think the win condition is hoping something in one of these boxes that you're holding is something really cool. Like there's a Dragon Queen Alexstrasza in one of these Draconic lackeys.
Right, which is an option, and I think he should definitely play that. I also kind of believe that we might be in that situation where we just have to... Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So, I don't think Onyxia is good enough. I think that Brightwing would have to give you something like so out there, like Ysera Unleashed. Or, no, not even that, because then they just get answered by Plague of Death.
Like one of the primes, maybe?
Right. So, something like even more dramatic than just a 17-17 of stats.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that's super good.
Well, bloodyface
That
still
being
faced
said-
with an interesting turn here.
Yeah, that being said, this is still a pretty sizable minion and difficult to deal with.
He could Plague of Death, but I don't think he wants to unleash Plague of Death just yet.
Yeah. This doesn't seem like the time to do it.
Granted, he does have another one in his deck. But 12 cards still left. He still has a while before he draws through.
Right.
He's trying to think of another way. He's at 19 with no healing in hand.
Yeah, you know, PNC's managed to put together a really annoying minion. Priest doesn't deal well with these kinds of stat lines on the Twin Tyrant. But alas, seems like bloodyface is just going to try to fight back onto the board and say, I'm not going to just hold cards anymore. I'm going to try to see if I can fight back against you. PNC's down to fatigue. He has a couple of secrets. He could pop off with Hanar here. And I like it, because he's been saving his Hanar, and he has the Blackjack Stunner, I believe. So I think I would go for a full tempo turn. Force my opponent to commit to a Plague of Death, then play a Nixia. And then if they have another Plague of Death, well, at least you tried.
One stab, finish him.
I mean, this is another tempo turn. Right? We're talking about Hanar potentially coming out and using the Blackjack Stunner, but this is still fine. Can PNC do this? Is he finding a way?
It's possible, but he still needs a ton of damage.
Right.
Like, 15 is a lot when your direct damage sources are gone. Obviously, he can find him with Kobold Lackey, but now his clock is ticking.
Right. And meanwhile, bloodyface just trying to count down the damage.
Yeah. He also checked for Bamboozle there. So now knows that it's ambush since both of the dirty tricks. Dirty secrets and dirty tricks have been played. It's just, does he want to unleash with the Plague of Death here? Like, what could PNC be holding? He got a dragon from the Draconic Lackey, but he has Aeon Reaver in hand, so that could deal with a big dragon that's like an 8/8. Oh, is he gonna take more? Maybe he's just trying to get the ambush out of the way?
Yeah. And then Plague of Death.
Because if he doesn't Plague of Death, that's 9, 10, 11 damage. That would take
Yeah,
2
that's too
Kobold
much.
Lackeys and he'd die.
So now he knows that there's a big dragon, and he should know that there's a dragon in hand, and Nixia comes down. This is exactly what we're talking about. PNC with the tempo turn forces out the Plague of Death, then plays a Nixia. I guess it doesn't matter if he has a Welt versus a Draconic Lackey.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, the Lackey's generating these dragon threats is still sizable enough to make it scary. Bloodyface has a Time Rip and Aeon Reaver, so at least he's got that much.
But he has no way to deal with these 1/1s. They're going to keep chipping away. Man, if
Right.
Priest loses this game...
I've been in this position a lot as Priest, and it's like, you really got to sometimes find a way to win, because reaction's so easy to come by these days. I really don't feel like fatigue plans work very often. Okay, so Aeon Reaver gets you onto the board.
Your future is
And now, with 6 damage on the board, 7 through the Goblin Lackey. Is there an Ethereal Lackey for lethal here? If not, then PNC should actually just trade 4 in, attack with 2, and play a Nixia again.
Yeah.
Actually, he can even be a little bit more efficient. He could praise Galakron first. Okay, this is also fine.
Looks like it's a Hanar turn.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's also good. Also totally fine.
But he only has 3 mana after this, so unless he picks up, like, really good stuff,
Right.
like Never Surrender and Counterspell.
Spellbender?
Ooh.
Except he has a full board.
darkness wanes.
Unless he trades some in.
Right. And the idea of Spellbender is that it might make bloodyface scared. Oh, wow. I think the Spellbender here does make a lot of sense because you do intimidate your opponent to think that it's counterspell. Repentance. And here you go. 3 secrets for you to deal with. Also, one thing that PNC needed to keep in mind, by the way, was to not play something that would wreck him through Murazond.
Ah, yeah.
What about?
Oh, jeez. This is a really bad Plague of Death, but bloodyface might feel like he needs to do it. There's also the possibility that he can just generate something through the minions. Murazond. He's trying to get the secrets back on his side. Information.
But I never tell the truth.
Oh, is he dead?
No. There's 7, and Praise Galakron is 8. Goblin Lackey, if you trade a minion, you only get 1 net.
He needs.
It doesn't net you any damage.
He needs a Kobold Lackey.
Right, or an Ethereal Lackey. Okay, so here we go.
Oh, the Priest Galakron doesn't work.
That
It doesn't give him an extra damage.
Oh, wait, yeah, he should know that. It's his own secret. Nope, it's a Witchy Lackey. He gets a couple more tries.
You face Jirax, Eladon
Wait,
Lord
by
of the
doing that, he almost made a top minion. Okay, Ethereal
So-
Lackey can draw damage. There's a lot of possibilities
It
here.
needs
Rogue has a
Sinister
ton of
Strike,
damage.
Eviscerate.
No.
None of those.
He has the ability to hero power for a Lackey now.
But now he has to trade another one, so he has 5 damage on board. So it's not lethal anymore.
Oh, wow.
He has to assassinate.
All right, because he needed that Spellbender. Or he might need that Praise Galakron.
The door hit you.
Oh, and he didn't get the hero power either. Oh, wait, he just played the Repentance.
He didn't attack with anything!
Oh, he didn't get the damage.
And now Bloodyface has more Artificer plus Penance. Okay, well, it's a Spellbender, but it still works. It heals him for 6.
Right, because if there's not enough minions, if there's not enough room on the board for the minions to summon an additional spot,
Oh, yeah, so Spellbender won't
the
proc.
Spellbender won't trigger.
And he knows what most of these secrets are. The
Right.
only one he doesn't know is the
It's the Paladin
Repentance.
one.
Yeah.
And
So
he does know about Never Surrender.
He could just Plague of Death. And then more
Yeah.
Artificer, Penance. No. Oh, this is lethal, right? Because
Because he
PNC takes
takes
4.
damage for fatigue.
Oh no.
Draxus can't be played.
He only takes 5 next turn. So he needs to find some way to deal 8 damage.
Wait, yeah, but like, he can't stop the time rip because there's gonna be too much board space from the Nixia. So, wow, if PNC had picked up another dragon that was threatening, like he had an Alex Strauss as an option.
He could have Alex Shaw's it himself.
Right, exactly. Wax Dread, but it doesn't really stop fatigue.
Yeah, it doesn't. Because you still draw the card, because the candle resummons Wax Dread, and then you draw a card.
Oh goodness. Oh, this is very disastrous. And so Bloodyface can now target the Onyxia.
Yep, he can time rip the Onyxia, and then
Right.
Moarg Artificer Penance
Right. Which
to heal for 6.
right.
And,
And that's guaranteed lethal, I think.
And-
Well, he doesn't know about the lackeys, though. To be fair, in
But he would've
Bloodyface's
killed him.
mind, Right, but like maybe he needed some board presence first, right? Like maybe
Yeah.
the lackeys are like Cobalt lackeys, and he needs to get a little bit more on them.
But look at this. If PNC had attacked with his minions and dealt, what, 6 extra damage? 5 extra damage?
I think it was 5 damage or 4 damage. Either way, PNC would be in a position to maybe do this, but I don't think he is anymore, unless...
A bunch of bluegill warriors?
No,
No,
he
he
doesn't
has
have
no
board space. And he concedes.
Bloodyface won with Priest! He won with Priest!
Wow. What a game.
Oh, man.
A grinder of a game 1. And Priest gets to play again, TJ. Priest gets to play again. PNC now has the Hunter and the Mage take on the Priest. But, a lot of people argue that the Rogue is still one of the best classes against it. So, yeah.
That was ugly
a barn
Hearthstone,
burner.
Dan. That was ugly Hearthstone.
That was pretty messy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that PNC would have been able to win because I think Bloodyface navigated it very well, but it would have been a lot closer. I don't know. I have a lot of questions about that. I have a lot of questions about this game. I kind of want to just dive into like a replay analysis of it. But one thing for sure is that PNC, it looked like he's kind of back in that similar spot as he was when he was playing against Eddie, where he was pretty frazzled and very unhappy based off his own lines of play. But it was a really close one. It was a really close one back and forth. But yeah, you can't be missing that damage in the late game because you just give yourself fewer outs.
You give yourself fewer outs, and also, like, even going back to, like, the Onyxia choices. Like, obviously...
Which I don't mind. I actually don't mind the Onyxia choices,
Well,
to be honest.
I mean, like, the more I think about it, your hand is full of lackeys. Is filling up your board with 1/1s really something that you want to be doing in that scenario?
I think so, given that Priest only has a finite amount of AoE, and you saw that he used Plague of Death on like 1/1s. I think that's like a real I think PNC recognized that it's difficult for Priest to deal with that, especially with a lack of a damage hero power.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, it was a good choice there. I think what messed up was the execution again at the finish line, where he needed to find ways to keep up the pressure, and he couldn't.
Yeah.
And he and a couple of sequential things where it was like praise Galakron and the Spellbender and give himself fewer outs to win. That being said, the lackeys at the very end were also pretty unfortunate. Like, he didn't find a single Kobold lackey, despite having 6 lackeys in hand or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, not the best showing there from PNC. In terms of the final stretch, missing that damage was really painful, and he looked a little lost.
Yeah, and looked like he was going to step away for just a few minutes in between the game 1 and game 2. I would too. Holy moly, that was a long one. Went to fatigue, and also a lot of stress right at the end, right at the finish line. So. Yeah, we'll see. Looks like I think he's back, as I heard another game queue up. Looks like it's going to be Hunter versus Priest coming in the next game. Can Bloodyface pull the miracle run, Dan? The 3-0 with Priest against 3 unfavorables. Can he do it?
Yeah, we'll try. I mean, Highlander Hunter, it seems to be the deck with the most success for PNC so far. As that has been, I believe...
It's the only deck he's played. No, it's not.
Am I mistaken in believing that was that's the deck that PNC's gotten those wins on today? No, he was up 2-0, but I believe he won with a different deck. Either way, he got the most wins with it so far.
He got a couple wins with Rogue in the last series, I think.
Got it. Against Eddie?
Against Eddie, and then Eddie swept him with Spell Druid.
I've got more left in me.
But just kind of scaling up the curve right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you thought the last game was close, this one, PNC has a little bit less value, but so much more raw strength, raw power. It's like he has to keep the board in check preemptively, just to make sure things don't get out of control.
To my side.
Cobalt Sticky Finger could be interesting.
Yeah, it has implications in this matchup. Not a lot of really powerful application outside the Stormhammer, but if you're able to land it, it feels potentially game swinging.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Okay, Madame Lazul.
Fire everything.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I like the tempo more Artificer because it doesn't die to just one of these minions. Sticky Figure value? We haven't seen it all day, Dan. I'm getting antsy.
Yes.
My fingers are getting sticky. Don't ask
Ooh.
why.
Gotcha. You've been hanging out with Oliver a little too much.
It's almost his bedtime, man.
It's almost my bedtime.
We're getting old, man. We're getting old.
We are. Oh, PNC could go for a next level play. He could play Desert Spear, then bait out the Cobalt Sticky Finger, but this Stormhammer is gonna get swiped.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and it's so good because he gets to kill the Leok.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, slam it.
Oh, yeah.
Slam it.
Stick him.
It gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Even Bloodyface is smiling. After the day he's had? Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah. That is dramatic swing right now.
Yep.
Hunter is in a much worse position, and now Bloodyface has the board. He can time rip.
Oh, it's amazing. He still feels behind, though. Like, that's the brutal part.
I don't think so. Is he behind?
No, he's ahead. One thing that Hunter doesn't do well is grab back tempo.
Okay, well that's one way to do it.
They're great at like holding, like getting it early and then holding it and using it to push face, but like getting it back while still pushing face damage is tougher. Ooh. He's gonna play Zixer. There is a Shadow Madness in Bloodyface's deck. So I wonder if that's ever playing through PNC's mind of, oh geez, I don't want my Zixer to get Shadow Stepped. Or not Shadow Step, Shadow Madness. But if you look at it from the other side, you know, if Zixer dies, he can Scavenger's Ingenuity and perhaps even pick it up.
Yeah.
Then it's a massive board.
Mummy needs 5 more minutes.
And I just like that he's playing Mohawk Artificer for tempo. I mean, it's 2/4 minion, and it's not like Hunter has a lot of spells in the deck to deal damage to it. PNC has the Zephyrs available to him.
I don't know what could be great here from Zephyrs for 5 mana.
It gives you the best minion, so Earth Elemental.
Yeah.
It might give you
Like Shadow Word Pain, because there's a 3/6 on the other side of the board.
maybe like a Kodo.
Maybe. Shadow Madness is a possibility because there's a Reborn. I'm not sure how well it reads Reborn.
Right. It's not enough mana for a Cabal Shadow Priest.
Would it ever give you like Chaos Nova? No. Because you have a minion.
Yes. Actually, it would, because it reads that your Zixer is able to attack. So it might give you that 4 damage AoE. which incidentally would deal way more because of the Morg Artificer.
I don't think it reads Morg Artificer. If it
Yeah, I'm
did,
saying
then it would have just given like a
like an arcane explosion or something.
arcane. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Swipe. Madame Lazul.
Oh,
Well, he gets really good information now. He knows all three of these cards are in the hand. So
yeah.
he's like, okay, what do I do when my opponent goes for this Nagrin Slam?
You hold the Plague of Death. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Oh, or you do it back. No, that doesn't work. Oh, okay.
Oh. Little Hogsteed.
Dino Tamer Brand's going to be dead for a while.
Yeah.
So if you do
I mean,
this...
so he knows that the fourth card isn't Diamond Tamer Brand. Although I'm pretty sure if Diamond Tamer Brand was in the hand, he might have just jammed it last turn.
Yeah. Oh. Is this actually going to happen, Dan? I just... Priest actually looks like it's in a decent spot. Problem is, there's just some dead cards in hand. Archivist Elysiana, Dino Tamer Bran. Like next turn, Bloodyface is pretty much locked into a Kronx. Alright, so PNC gonna try and go for the Scavenger's Ingenuity on the Zixer. Still a couple other beasts in the deck.
Board.
Wait, is there a couple other beasts in the deck? Yeah, there is. He gets the Escape Mana Saber.
Oh, yeah, the Mana Saber, and I think he had his own Hogsteed, right? Because he Thought Stole.
Yeah, he had a Hogsteed as well.
Yeah.
So, had a couple. But it was a good attempt.
Yeah, well now Kronx can draw this Galakron. Still some of the 6/6, reasonable tempo. And PNC... He has the big Mana Saber. But here's the thing. He should know that Bloodyface knows what's in the... that he has a Zephyrus and a Nagrin Slam. I think it's a very safe assumption that's the case.
Yep. So he's got a good amount of info. Now he's going to see Escape Mana Saber from the Scavenger's Ingenuity. He's going to breathe a slight sigh of relief because it was not the Zixer. And it looks like he's going to...
Death. Yeah, Death is really good here.
Oh, okay. I was expecting like Edwin to be better than Natalie.
Probably.
I guess it's for the following turn. Also, I wonder how Murazan works with what just happened there. Anyways, so Soul Mirror doesn't actually clear everything here anymore.
No.
And Bloodyface knows what's coming next, right?
Yes, he knows the last card in hand. And if he Plague of Deaths, then he has no answer to the next card in hand. So it looks like Galakron is the best play. And just
Right.
hope he hits the 6/8.
It's gonna kill off, most likely, a 3-attack minion. Lands it onto
got
the
it.
Escape Mana Saber. And PNC is stuck with this Nagrin Slam. Does 12 damage to the face, though. That's not trivial at all, given that he still has Dino Tamer Brand in his deck.
Yep. But Bloodyface still at 15. It is something.
Yeah.
He just has to hope that if he's using Plague of Death this turn... Oh, I guess Zixer or Soul Mirror would clear Zixer if it comes out, too. So he's got checks. He just has to hope that Bloodyface
yes.
doesn't have a lot of... Is that Dino Tamer Brand? Oh,
Oh
Queen
my
Alexandra.
goodness. Well, if the dragons are statted for higher health than attack, then
They're
it
not.
will work out.
The fate of the world hangs in the balance.
Well, it was a good effort, Bloodyface.
It was a very good effort.
Yeah,
Wait.
some... What? What?
If he plays the Bronze Herald, it's a 3/2. So okay, well, Soul Mirror answers the Alex Strasza.
Yeah, so does Time Rip.
Right, and I'm thinking about Shadow Madness.
Like Time Rip, Shadow Madness, Evil Conscriptor. Something along those lines.
Yeah, something along those lines. I don't know how you managed to tap into the sounds going on in Bloodyface's head right now, but you did it, TJ.
What?
I just hear Oliver
Oh yeah,
in the background going, wah. I mean, this is
he's
a tough spot
upset,
for
man,
Bloodyface.
because he thought that Priest was gonna win.
Really?
Now it looks like it's not.
Yeah, this is, I don't know, Soul Mirror, and then Evil Conscriptor. That's just his best answer to the board. But PNC very close to finding a way to win this game somehow, perhaps.
That's Dino Tamer Brand.
Wow. Oh my God.
That's lethal.
Holy cow. And what a turnaround here. PNC able to end the game. Kill command to wrap it up. Bloodyface feels like he gets so far ahead.
He kills everything, and then runner, PNC draws Drag Queen Alex Strasza into Dino Tamer Brand.
And once again, Highlander Hunter seems to be the Achilles heel of Bloodyface, and also the secret sauce to PNC's success.
Yep. I mean, he had a couple of good draws there. Obviously, Dino Tamer Brand's the best because it wins him the game. But he had still the Zixer Prime left in the deck. So he'd be able to clean up the board, push some damage. And with Soul Mirror, Plague of Death gone, there wasn't really much that could have cleaned it up. Actually, Holy Nova would have cleaned it up. I don't know. Maybe there wasn't that many draws left, because he also had like Blazing Battle Mage, and Injured Tolvier. Oh no, Injured Tolvier was played too.
Yeah, it's a tough loss here for Bloodyface, but you know, we still have a lot more to play, and PNC will stay on the Hunter, so I think Bloodyface will turn to the Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, like, I mean, that's kind of what Highlander Hunter does. It has an opportunity to explode and just kind of kill you, even if you feel like you're really far ahead. And I gotta say, Nagrin Slam is extremely impressive. Without that card, I think PNC was just really dead in the water. It feels like Nagrin Slam is like Hall of the Wild, but even sicker.
Yeah, it's the only problem is you don't get it if you're playing it against a board, right? You don't really get much choice of where they go. But in an empty board, it's way better than Call of the Wild, because it all goes face.
Yeah, I mean, assuming there's no minions on the other side. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where, like, my fundamental issue lies with Priest, which is that it doesn't actually put on any aggression. So you give time for your opponent to draw, like, the actual...
Nothing but a bunch of big birds!
Like, if you were playing a deck that could turn the tides a lot more aggressively, if it would feel like that, at the very least, you know, that Hunter wouldn't get the time to be able to, like, set up all of that. But PNC just kept, like, even if that was the case, PNC still had time to get more draws. It's just that he just happened to draw them back to back.
Yeah.
Somebody order a bomb.
I wonder how PNC is going to choose to deal with this, or if he deals with it at all. I guess it might depend on, like, the animal companion role. But this curve from PNC is a lot better than the Nalgidon curve that we saw earlier in the same matchup.
Yeah, it seems like Nagadan gonna be kind of wishing that he had a better curve, kind of like this. PNC has the animal companion here, kind of thinking about if he wants to do anything else. He's kind of demonstrated that he really likes using the hero power with the dwarf sharpshooter. And the Misha, I mean, Misha's solid. It stops the Clockwork Goblin from getting an easy trade.
Yeah, push his face. I like this. His stuff is protected. Wrench Caliber. Oof. Lines up pretty awkwardly against this board. One thing is, though, it will shuffle the second bomb in. Which means it shuts off Zephyrus. Shuts off Dino Tamer Brand.
Yeah, and I wonder if this is enough for bloodyface to even feel like he has to pull the trigger on Risky Skipper, but he doesn't even have enough to back it up. He might have to brawl here and hope that he kills the Dragonbane, and if he doesn't, he's going to be taking 10 damage next turn just from the hero power.
Yeah. It's a 2 out of 3.
I'll show you who's
He could go for
Made to
Battle Rage, but what is he even... I don't know what he's even trying to find, honestly.
Probably the exact same cards, to be honest. I think he's hoping to draw exactly Risky Skipper number 2 and Armorsmith, and he actually found one.
He found Sky Raider.
Right. And I think
Armorsmith,
because he wants to
but-
get stuff in the way of PNC's Dragonbane.
I just don't know if you're getting a better brawl there.
Oh no, Bloody's face. He's got his hands in his face. He's handy face.
Yeah. Yeah. I think PNC tracking has a few good pickups here with tracking over bombs or picking up a dragon for corrosive breath. Diamond Griffin can pull out a rush minion. Yeah, there's one left, right? Sixer? Yeah. And then guarantee the 5 damage to face with the hero power.
Yeah. This is overwhelming pressure coming from the Hunter and Bloodyface.
I think
Maybe
he
with some
knows that he
regret.
should have brawled. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Has this game just been decided already?
I think it has.
Wow. He was, I mean, yeah, he was even more likely to have a favorable outcome on the brawl than less, and now he might have to 50-50 it.
Someone's got to
Yeah.
lead the charge.
Or rather 1 and 3 because of the Sky Raider. That's better odds by a pretty significant margin. Here we go. And the second best outcome for Bloodyface, but still this is, oh my god, are you kidding
There's bombs.
me?
Winds of the south.
No, you're right. Okay, so it's not active. Still though, this is just as threatening. What the heck?
Yeah, now he would have needed no, there would have been nothing there.
Okay, so he needs Bomb Wrangler. He needs Risky Skipper, Bomb Wrangler.
Made to
I don't know.
This isn't enough armor, right?
Oh
no, it's
don't
enough.
know if it's. Yeah, but I don't know if it keeps him safe. Oh, but the double armor smith means that corrosive breath can't target. Wait, hold on. 6. That's 12, 14, 17 through corrosive breath on his own minion, and that's not enough. So.
Can he track for damage?
He only has 2 more mana after that, so it seems unlikely.
I wonder.
So PNC is going to Corrosive Breath and clean up some of these weaker minions, but you know the fact is this Tiamat's unchallenged.
Yep. And is not going anywhere with Bloodyface's current hand. Both risky skippers are gone. And he's at a very low life total. Corsair Cash can pick up Anchor, which would draw him into nothing, or essentially nothing. I think he knows it.
I wonder.
And that was his best chance at taking down the Hunter, honestly.
Yeah, now he's got the Rogue, and I think Bloodyface is kind of resigned to the fact that there's not really many ways out here. He could Blastmaster Boom and hope that it kills the Tiamat. Nope. And that's
And
gonna do it. Bloodyface can't stave off the aggression. PNC 1 game away from going to the top 4. He is shaking his head because he is not approving his victory.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me. Hearthstone players crack me up because it's like they're upset when they lose and they're upset when they win. And it's like they're just never happy, TJ.
Well,
obviously that's not true. I'm exaggerating, and it's not all Hearthstone players, specifically PNC, who's had a rough day. He's
had a really rough day.
He hasn't shown the best of his abilities. Or perhaps maybe he has shown the best, but he's also shown some of the weaknesses of his gameplay. And it hasn't been pretty. It hasn't been pretty. But we're here at the doorstep, and he is 1 game away. So let's focus on the positive and think about what are the positive things he can be doing, or rather the way the games have been shaping up still seems like PNC has got good decks. Clearly the Hunter is doing really well for a reason. It's not just because, he is drawing very well when it counts, but at the same time, I think the Hunter is still being slept on by a lot of people, and it's still performing very well.
Yeah, and Dwarven Sharpshooter again, that's kind of the key for a good start if you're PNC. It's also got a pair of 3-drops. Desert Spear is kind of good at picking apart boards, and Zixer itself is just overall decent, but Zixer can also be tutored by things like Scavenger's Ingenuity or the Diving Griffin. Oh, wow, okay. A nice curve once again. Picks up 2 out of his 3 1-drops. Has Scavenger's Ingenuity to find plays for the future. And a Desert Spear to help clean up the board. But Bloodyface also has Edwin Van Cleef and a Shadow Step and a coin in hand. That is also a recipe for success.
Yes.
Maybe even a better one.
Nothing but a bunch of big bears!
This is still pretty doable, I'd say. Oh, gosh. Oh, wow. It finally happened. Scissor picked up off of the Scavenger's Ingenuity, which, by how many times have you seen Ingenuity played on 2?
A lot.
Now, I think... Oh, wow. Okay, picks up the Storm Hammer. This could be a quick game here. Bloodyface does have the Edwin, though. And
He does have Edwin, but PNC has like an answer, sort of, with Varanus. It's a few turns away, but it seems like by the time Edwin is played... Oh, well, actually, it looks like it's going to be played right now.
Oh, uh-oh. Colossus.
Yeah. He's going to go Shadow Step, Coin, and Edwin. Right on time.
And a Restless Mummy to back it up. This is a big Edwin. Bloodyface needed this to climb back into it. 10-10.
And even with Zixor, he can't quite answer it. Oh! What?
You gotta be kidding me. That is insane. Oh my goodness. My Shadow Song. PNC shaking his head again. That's the PNC. Top deck into the head shake. True combo. He is like disgusted with himself.
It's like just enough time so that way he can Varanus on 6 to kill it off.
I mean, Bloodyface still feels pretty confident. In the end, even though he sets up to answer it, he still needs a minion to do something about it.
Well, he has Stormhammer.
Wow. Yeah, but he's got to take 10.
Yeah. But, I mean, taking 10 is better than being dead. Which, if he didn't pick up Maiev, I think he'd be dead.
That's fair. Yeah, he'd be super dead.
I wonder.
Huh. So it is interesting, though, how he sets this up. It looks like he wants maybe multiple minions to try and have the best chance of not having to take 10 next turn when he has to Varanus the Edwin.
Yeah, that's a big sixer, but Bloodyface does have options with Sap and the Seal Fate. And I think that is his best course of options, because he doesn't want to let PNC get an easy trade into this Van Cleave that he invested a ton of resources into.
Yeah. And Bloodyface is hoping, okay, no Zephyrus, no Varanus. But at least he's taking 10.
Right.
You know, that's kind of the bright side in this.
It wasn't a meaningless Van Cleave because he still dealt 10, but I was kind of waiting for the Rottenness Drake just to be ripped right there. I was just feeling it.
Oh my gosh. I would have quit casting Hearthstone.
Cobalt and Faceless Corruptor is a possibility here. Flick Skyship as well.
Yeah, I think he wants a little bit more value from the Faceless Corruptor.
Is that?
Because he would have...
Oh no, it's Tiamat. Still really good.
Oh, on 7.
Yeah.
Bloodyface is gonna see this is the far right card, and he's gonna be like, "Oh God."
Yeah. Although it's kind of the same set as before, where
It's the
like
same setup as before, yeah.
Yeah, where there's this like a 6 health minion that he can Cobalt Lackey and Faceless Corruptor.
Yep. And Bloodyface has managed to stay relatively healthy thus far in this game.
Right.
I wonder.
If he does play Cobalt Lackey plus Faceless Corruptor, he then has no way to deal with a brand. But I guess he can kind of dig with Evil Miscreant if that's the case.
Yeah.
But this Stormhammer is just going to keep on rolling because he's got dragons each and every turn to be able to play. The problem is because he had to take 10 from Edwin, if he wants to try and use the Stormhammer to keep board control, he's going to keep taking more damage. But usually hunters in that situation are fine, especially against Rogue, who lost a lot of their burst potential. It's really just eviscerates that you can use for burst potential, plus lackeys, but feels like PNC's a long ways away from picking up those lackeys.
Right.
Zixer could also be an issue because PNC could track for Zixer and Flick is gone.
Whoa. I mean, PNC has the makings of, or sorry, bloodyface has the makings of potentially a really explosive turn, but he kind of needs to play Kronk sooner rather than later so he can get that mana out of the way.
Many options.
The better play, though, is Shield of Galakrond plus Evil Miscreant in terms of using his mana, so he's going to go ahead and set that up just in case.
Yeah, and I feel like using the mana is important right now.
Right. You're playing against a deck that might play in a Grand Slam, and you're just super far behind. Okay. Evil Miscreant.
Tempting.
Choose soon.
Okay, Henchclan Hogsteed.
PNC looking for the Dynamo Tamer brand equivalent. Oh, Diving Griffin. Zixor's already dead.
Yeah, and he's
drawn his Hogsteed. That
Deshaun's
looks
Hogsteed, yeah.
really good to me. Diving Griffin into the evasive Fellwing here. Yeah. Whoa, yeah. Now we're starting to enter critical territory here where PNC might be able to start figuring out, might just win through sheer tempo. Unless bloodyface can find a way to damage bloodyface enough to just maybe end the game.
Quickly.
which seems like a pretty slim chance.
Right. If he
Because I doubt PNC is going to want to take any more damage here.
Yeah, if PNC plays the Hogseed, he's basically revealing to bloodyface that he just drew his Zixer too.
Yeah.
This was good. Good spot by him. Wow. It's a lot of damage to not go face. Another shield with a devoted maniac. But the thing is, bloodyface doesn't have Galakrond in hand.
No.
But I never tell the truth.
Shadow Jewel Hanar.
Bloodyface doesn't even play secrets.
Yeah. But he can find it through Ethereal Lackey.
He could, but that's a lot of mana to expend on. I guess he could try for it if his plan is to go like Kronk's Goblin Lackey.
Right, which it looks like it is.
Because right now, Bloodyface is probably thinking that he needs to play Galakrond next turn
Right,
if Zixer
right.
if Zixer comes out.
Yeah. I think
And
he's
if
going to
that's the case,
Kronk Shadow Step, right? I don't know.
I think Kronk's Rush, because ideally he wants Zixers to trade.
Right. And he needs all these. He needs this 5/1 to die. He doesn't want to take that damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even if he Shadow Step the Kronks, you can't play Galakrond and Kronks in the same turn.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. He knows that the Zixer is likely to be in hand.
PNC also with the Henchclad Hogseed means he doesn't have to trade one of these Zixers into the
Right, the 7/1.
Kronks. And Flick is gone.
Yeah, Flick is.
So Bloodyface
indeed
needs
gone.
some help here.
2 Maniacs. Just a little bit off. for a Goblin Lackey. Finds Faceless Lackey. That's not it. He can go for a Devoted Maniac and sap. Jeez, this is really bad. I think Shielded Galakron's better.
Yep.
I wonder.
But I don't know. Unless he finds something to immediately impact the board,
Yeah, he's dead.
there's a Zephrys in hand, which with 4 minions on board, even with 3 minions on board, is a lot of damage. He even has a weapon swing left.
Oh my goodness. I think PNC has done it here. Bloodyface can't find stabilization.
Yeah, that's game.
If he saps one of them. Interesting. Not even taking out the Murloc. Bloodyface sees a line. Oh,
Yeah.
he's got double
dead.
eviscerated out with the Galakron.
He's dead to Bloodlust.
Oh. Okay. That's right. 9 on the board plus another 9. Or, just anything that he wants to do with the Zephrys. And that is going to do it here. Very close back and forth. And it seems like PNC is just going to be able to find his way with the Highlander Hunter. Despite the odds. This Hunter has crushed the competition today.
It has, and obviously a very strong deck in the metagame. At least this metagame that we're seeing in this group. Nalgadon seemed like it was losing because he wasn't finding the curve. I think this deck is pretty feast or famine as far as the curve is concerned. If you can stay ahead and keep the ball rolling with minion after minion, it allows you so much flexibility because your opponent has to think of like, all right, I have to clear the board, but I also have to heal because I'm getting low and die to this, die to that. So if you can be consistent with that, then the deck seems really powerful. And PNC kind of had to rely on it today, and it worked out for him. So we'll see him in the top 4 tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be fun to see how PNC can, fulfill his role as the comeback kid. I think PNC is someone that you can't really count out because, his main strength is that I think he identifies really good lineups to bring to tournaments. Or at least what he does end up bringing, he is very much challenging the field. So really well done. That's kind of what really helped him in Season 1, because I believe he was one of the first people to really identify Luna's Pocket Galaxy, which sounds silly in hindsight, but he definitely was a little bit earlier than other people, and that's what started his comeback.
Well, for the first half of the season, it was the opposite because he tried to stick on Mech Hunter for way too long.
Right.
But he picked it up by the end of the season, and pre-nerf Luna's Pocket Galaxy was the deck that he used in Specialist to qualify for the Global Finals for winning Season 1.
That's right.
So, and he seemed like more practice on the deck than a lot of other players, and obviously that deck going into playoffs for all 3 regions was just the deck. So, and there's a bracket for tomorrow. Language Hacker will face off against PNC. A lot different of a lineup that he's going to have to face tomorrow. Going to be excited to see that one. Then Eddie will face off against Gallen for the second semifinal.
That's right. So this will be Sunday after Europe. It's only going to be 3 matches. So make sure to tune in or catch the VODs if you can't make it with us, because we're going to be able to crown a Week 2 champion and give them the points. And then after that, we're done with 2 weeks. We're officially, after that, we'll be officially done with a quarter of the season, TJ, just like that.
Wow. And even more than a quarter of the regular season.
That's right. Time just flies on by.
It sure does.
But with this, TJ, we're done. It's, again, a very long production day, and we always get to wrap up the show as part of America, so we won't keep the production crew too long and all the people who have been sticking with us today. Again, kind of a fast start to the day, but, we did have some pretty epic series back and forth. And at the end, we have 4 players joining us for tomorrow. Any final words, TJ, to sign us off here?
No, it was a fun day. A little bit of change of pace since we got to see some deck lists that we don't get to see very often, like the Pure Galcon Priest, Highlander Warrior, or Highlander Hunter. So kind of nice to see those decks and see some different decks flourish other than Druid, which was just all we saw win yesterday. So I'm cool and excited for the top 4 tomorrow.
That's right. Should be good. So if you missed any part of this broadcast, make sure to check out all the stuff here at youtube.com/Hearthstone Esports. You can also go to playhearthstone.com/esports to find all the deck lists and standings and results and follow your favorite players. Other than that, we are done with week 2, day 2. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for more Hearthstone action.
Hearthstone Grandmasters is brought to you by T-Mobile, helping you stay connected to what matters most. Learn about T-Mobile's COVID-19 response on T-Mobile.com.